She's just come back from the US of A. Played over there in the Ultimate Pool USA, of course, in Denver, Colorado. Just a little chat with her. She's touched down, not hit a ball on an English table at all, especially on the new Rasson Apollo, Nick. So, how do you think she's going to fare?
I think it's going to take a bit of getting used to for her. I mean, Amy is a very, very good potter, and she's a very accurate potter as well, so that should suit her. But this is going to play very differently to those tables she's been on in the States. But of course, this is a natural habitat. She's well versed on English 8-ball tables. She's just going to have a little bit of her work cut out with Ryan. I mean, Ryan's a very, very good player, but the thing that's in Ryan's advantage at the moment is he's very well practiced. He's been playing a series of money matches, laying down challenges to just about anybody who'll take them, and he's been on the road quite a lot recently. We've got a foul.
Yeah, what happened there?
I guess he must have touched the ball while reaching over. He was just leaning.
Had to have. There's no other reason.
No.
How he's vacated the table. Oh, Amy Beecham hits her first ball on a Rasson Apollo. Yeah, there you just see it, just tickled his cue onto that yellow.
So, as we mentioned at the top of the show, the new Rasson Apollo table, it plays. That was just leaked away. It plays tighter on the corners and a little bit more generous into the middles. You can definitely power them into the middles. I don't dislike it at all. A couple of the players last night were saying, "Oh, the middles are a bit big," but it's the same for everyone. And I've got absolutely no problem with the middle pockets. I mean, they play
not
true.
That big.
Well, there you go. Yeah. She was hearing me in the outset.
Yeah. Well, I played a little bit on one of the outside tables last night with Dylan Leary, just for a bit of a knock. He very kindly lent me his break cue with a 97mm tip on it, so he could make an absolute dummy out of me. But it was interesting to play on, and like you say, the middle bags, that you can really force them in there without any jump outs. But what was noticeable was balls down the rail. You've got to be pinpoint pretty much. Yeah. Obviously, with a brand new table, it's still going to be fairly generous, but you're not going to get that hitting the cue ball the object ball down the rail and halfway down, wobble and drop.
Yeah.
You're going to get rewarded for good play.
Yeah.
And that's what you want.
Yeah, it keeps you honest, which is
and
great.
This table is identical to all the outside tables as well. There was a slight difference, wasn't there, with the table on the TV than there was on the outside tables. The same cut of pocket, but it always seemed a little bit bigger out here, didn't it?
Well,
whereas these are identical now.
Well, of course they were different tables, weren't they? You had the Supreme match table in the arena, and on the outside tables it was the Supreme winner. So they're actually playing under different conditions, and that was a complaint from the pro players saying, "Hang on a minute, I'm playing on it's not an entirely different table, but similar template, but yes, a different table." And here,
good shot.
That's a very good shot here, very accurately played. But here, it's a level playing field on every table. There's 40 of these tables across 4 rooms, and every one of them's identical.
I like the way the ball goes in a little bit quieter into the pocket as well when they pop.
They are very quiet. There you go. See, there's that just highlights something I did notice last night, Tony, and it nearly happened there. The amount of times I've seen a ball rattled in that pocket and it goes across the rail and ends up in the opposite, and that one nearly did. I think we're going to see that a bit this weekend.
Well, I think that did happen on the old tables a little bit as well. I mean, one of the escape shots when you were snooker was to use the 2 jaws to come across as well. So it is, you can actually play it as a skillful shot.
Yeah.
But I get it. I think we are going to see more balls rattled in corners. That's for sure. But what a great chance this is for Amy Beecham.
So we'll keep a little watch on what's going on around the arena. There's 4 prelim matches currently underway. Jez Graham is 1-0 up against David Hogan. Peter Mullaney's beaten Mark Fleming 1-0. Also Cole Bedford and Cleve Thompson just got underway.
Of course, this match a race to 7. Obviously have the match clock as well. 50 minutes in total.
So this is a chance that Amy, I don't think, would have expected to have had. Would have expected to come back to the table when she missed before.
Well, no, but this is ideal for Amy, having not hit a ball since she's come back from America.
Yeah, get
of this size.
Yeah, a couple of bites of the cherry.
Yeah.
Never a bad thing.
I said to her though, I said, have you not played on the Rasslon? She goes, no, never. She says, I've not hit a ball since I come back from the States. I said, wow.
There's a lot of players going to be in that similar situation there.
I said, good luck.
Anyone who didn't turn up last night and is turning up fresh today will not have had a knock. They won't have the ability to have a knock because a lot of the tables are being prepped.
See, this shot here, I think, with the size of the middles, or how receptive they are, I'd rather cut this back into the middle.
Have to play this to middle. No question in my eyes. There you go.
Down it goes, and Amy Beecham goes 1-0 up.
Because they do,
Ryan Lambeth.
yeah, because they do play that little bit more generously. So the fear previously in playing a cut back into a blind pocket would have obviously been just catching that near knuckle. And if you catch the near knuckle, it's not going to go in. But Cole Bedford still 0-0. I'm just wondering whether.
Have they not started the match?
Yeah, well, Cole was out there waiting. He's been out there for quite a while, so maybe he's waiting on Cleve to turn up.
Cleve came in here. He thought
Cleve was here, was he?
And then he went back. Yeah, that was about 5 minutes ago. So he's definitely about.
Neither of those players are slouches, so I'm surprised there's no score on the board yet. Look at this for a break. Cue ball straight back up the middle of the table. Generates all the power through the pack. And not a bad split at all. The balls have just spread far and wide.
Just noticeable there when you see that shot at the table is that rim's gone off where between cushion and the surround of the table.
Love that.
I hate it. Yeah, I hated that rim on the table.
Yeah.
Queuing across it. When you cushed up and you play, I've caught the rim with me tip before.
The one thing I've never understood, Tony, is I don't know anybody who liked having that lip, and you'd think that Supreme would have acted on the, on the feedback from the players, because everyone's been moaning about it for years. You'd think
it's completely trimmed flat now.
You think they just have taken it off years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, why they haven't is one of the biggest bugbears for pool players for years and years. Yet they've left it on there.
Yeah, well, I think it's a lovely looking table as well.
Yeah.
Just to look at.
I love the pocket surround. It's like a brushed aluminium.
Yeah.
They look really good. I said to Cyber at the top of the show, it's got a modern look to it. Some of these tables, like the old Supreme prints and stuff, they just look antiquated when you see them in a pub nowadays.
I used to play on the old Super Leagues. They were great. They were.
Yeah, just looks like old furniture, doesn't it? When you go in the antique shop and you see the old furniture lined up there, the tables are reminiscent of that. This has just got a really clean, modern look to it, and I think it looks fantastic.
Chic.
I was talking to Brian Moss, the referee, just before this match. I'm not sure if Brian's refereeing this one. I haven't noticed yet, but just talking to him beforehand, and he said when he saw the pictures of it, the pictures didn't really do it any justice. He said he wasn't sure about the legs. They looked a bit gangly. They looked like the aliens out of War of the Worlds with the great big legs on it that splayed out. But he said actually when you see it, they're still in the confines of the table, if you know what I mean. So the legs just splay out to the width of the top of the table, so they don't come out proud. They look really good. Interesting.
Well, didn't expect that.
Nor me. And Amy, with still quite a bit of work to do on these three yellows, it's going to help her case if she can get to the lower one of the two on the right hand side. If she can't get through to that now, that's going to be a real struggle to clear it from here, because she'd need to come back for it. Looks like she can. That's going to help. Now she's looking at, she's tried to leave the one long up the cushion from this angle. That's a very, very tough shot. Over the pocket doesn't really do her much in the way of favours either. She's just come a bit too far for this shot, I think.
She's looking at cross double into the middle and trying to send the cue ball into red and yellow at the top like that,
yeah,
but a little bit unlucky.
Just seeing now whether that yellow. I don't think it passes to the pocket, but
she's looking at cushion into red
first. Yeah.
I think that will go, but it's got to be absolutely pinpoint.
And she's got a nice angle to just drop to the short rail of the yellow as well. If she gets this, she'd be unlucky not to have a shot on the last yellow.
That was a great effort.
It was a great effort, yeah. Oh,
well, to be fair, she's not left right an awful lot there. I mean, that's sticky where she's actually left him when we come back and have a look, but this is her attempt to try and conjure up a finish.
She left the one to middle. She left the one to middle, I think. Possibly no. And it's gone for the loss of turn. Well, actually, that wouldn't have done him any favours at all, the loss of turn there, so maybe he didn't.
It all depends if she can knock this yellow in, and if she has a gap where she could go and hit that yellow that's over the bag directly.
I think if she puts this yellow, they'll be looking to the referee to make a judgment on whether it's going to be a re-rack.
Nah, she can get past there, I'm sure. Yeah, there's enough gap for that cue ball.
Do you think?
Yeah. How much you got in your pocket? Yeah, see, clever shot though. Played a loss of turn.
Yeah.
Hand the table back to Ryan Lambeth. We'll still find out, or will we?
Yeah, I'm not sure we will now because
I think loss of turn now. It's a snooker.
Snooker, yeah.
I was right though.
It's close. It is close. I think you're probably right. It does just squeeze past, but
I think if you got in it just with it, you have to have the right angle. But
would have been interesting to see the referee get his measuring stick out. He would have had to get a cue ball out and just look at that gap, I think.
Well, only one option here for Amy, and that's to pot this yellow at the snooker. If not, she's going to be leaving Ryan Lambeth a finish. And that's going to be ball in hand.
I'd
take the red next to the black now. That would be me. Get rid of that one.
I can see why she played a one cushion escape, but I think I prefer the two cushion escape because you're coming into the line of the ball that would pot it towards the middle. Sacrilege not to pot it from one cushion though, and not to hit it from one cushion.
That's pretty perfect. So we're looking at two apiece now, really, unless something dramatic happens with these last four balls.
You're right though, Tony. I mean, there's no noise, just the rattle of the ball as it falls into the return at the bottom. It's all so well cushioned. Just a little knock as it falls into the heart of the table. There'll be youngsters everywhere hoping that they can buy one of these tables, and I mean, I know so many that play late into the evening in their garage.
Several years of pocket money.
And mum's banging on the floor saying, "Keep the noise down."
Cole being here, playing on the raft on Apollo.
Ooh, Amy.
That's the first cue ball we've seen lost off the break.
No, it's been made a ball again.
Yeah.
I should say, we've not seen any dry breaks.
What she has done though is left reds open for Ryan Lambeth, and we haven't seen any breaking finishes or reverses, have we, in this? It's been, both players have been at the table with opportunities.
Yeah, good chance of one here. But
well, it's all about that red. Ryan, you just saw he sort of leant down there to see if it passes yellow into the bottom right-hand corner, and I think he feels it does.
Well, and he's at the trout. Yeah, that's
and he's on it as well.
Yeah.
It flew past.
Probably needs to take the one to middle now.
But he leaves an angle, just stuns into the yellow. I'm not sure he meant to come all the way back over there.
I'm surprised.
I thought he would have stayed where the yellow was.
I'm surprised he played at that pace. I'm with you, because coming across the table to this angle, like, what good can that do?
Oh, he's missed it. He sort of throws his arm at that one, didn't he?
Tony, yeah, but I mean,
that was careless.
What was he even on? If he, I mean, I know he snookered himself, but even if he gets that, where's he put the 8 ball? it's a shot previous. I just do not understand why he's played it at the pace. He could have dropped that in dead weight and pretty much landed on the yellow and had a nice angle to come 2 cushions and up top of table. Yeah. If you land below it, the yellow's in the way of getting back up table. Don't understand it.
A ferocious double there by Amy Beecham into that corner.
What a shot that was.
Yeah, she took no prisoners with that shot. She's looking now where can she leave Lambeth safe.
Yeah, in breaking up these 3 yellows, she still needs to cover the line to the 8 ball, because again, if Ryan finds a way of, and I think that's why she's looking at the ball on the right, she doesn't want to split these 3 up, because if Ryan's got a path through to the top pocket, then if he does find a way to pop the one over bottom right, that 8 ball then has a line.
It's come too far.
And now she's opened up the pocket for the 8. In moving that yellow. That's the only. For me, that was the only yellow on the table you didn't want to move.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because, I mean, okay, it goes to middle, but it's a much harder proposition to get up table to play it to middle than it would have been to... Oh, wow. You lucky boy.
You are a lucky boy there, Ryan. And Ryan pots the black ball and does the Lambeth walk back to his chair. Amy Beecham breaking off in frame 10. 6 minutes 40 still on the clock, so she has time. She's made a ball. Yellows straight away point out as the obvious choice.
Yeah. Very decent chance too. Just come too far with that. I mean, she's wanted to come to the bulk line to drop the one in the top right and leave the one on the top cushion, but she's going to have to take the one to top cushion now. On the top cushion there, sorry, to top right. Little bump off the knuckle, which helps. She wouldn't have had very much there if the ball had stayed on that right hand side cushion. She's landed just about plumb.
Bit straight.
Yep.
Now this is the thing with these new Apollo tables, is with the old table you can try and force an angle off a jaw here. Now, well, there's the answer to that. If you hit it sweet enough, you can hit it as hard as, well, not as hard as you like, but you can really pump them.
Mark Fleming, Peter Mullaney locked up at 3s.
Oh,
Amy. Ooh.
Can she see the thinnest edge of this and cut it in the middle?
I reckon she's just on this.
If she is, it's only the tiniest bit of this yellow. Oh, she's made it.
Shot. Double though. I think
double or treble.
She is a good doubler.
She's going to cut it back. She's going for the corner.
Ah, skinny.
And she's made that as well.
Oh, cue ball was tracking.
What a finish there from Amy Beecham. Drags one back.
Great.
6-4. And Amy there showing that she's not going to lay down and die. She's a fighter. And that's evident in the way she went about that. The destruction of those yellows.
Yeah.
And she can afford a smile. That's a great finish. A little bit fortunate after the bump off the reds just to leave that thin edge, but wow, didn't she play a good shot? And what a good black as well.
Referee Mark Goff also just back fresh off the plane from Denver, Colorado. Did a great job in refereeing the matches over there.
Right, 6-4, Ryan Lambeth. Breaking off, he just requires one frame, but it's only 4 minutes 35, so he'd love a ball here, and he's got one.
Oh, let's have another go.
No.
It had a go at going top right, and then it had another go going top left. Bottom right, sorry.
Start to run the clock a bit now, don't you? You've got to be a little bit mindful. You've got 2 in front. If you could just eke out 30 seconds here and there 45s.
Yeah, there is more than enough time on the clock for Amy to get 2. I think Ryan's going to feel under pressure and know he needs to make this clearance.
Ryan's got the finish here now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just take your time as well with them. Use your 15 seconds for all of these balls.
Should be a formality from here. Just needs to find the gap.
Well, he just rolls this through now and he'll play the yellow into the bottom right. Use that red that's next to the yellow to hold the cue ball.
Oh.
Well, he won't be now, I don't think. Well, he can screw straight back into it, yeah. Well, this is the end of the match.
Heart would have been in the mouth there for a second.
These 2 balls for the match then for Ryan Lambeth. Formality pots. You have to say he's just about been good value for this. Down goes the black ball, and Ryan Lambeth will progress to the last 64. He defeats Amy Beecham by 7 frames to 4.
Straight away, race to 7, 50 minutes, and Phil Parkin gets us underway. Summer Webb and Tony Holgate with you. And Tony, it's great to be back on commentary with you. It's been a long few months since the World Championships, since we've been able to talk on comms together.
Well, it has, and I have to say, many congratulations.
Thank you very much, yeah.
I'm so pleased for you, honestly. And it's great to be back in your company, Mr. Webb. I've missed you.
Yeah, I've been away. I'm back.
He's back.
I am back. I've had a...
Well, you were back Monday night.
I was. Monday was my first time back after a good 5-6 weeks away. Really nice to be back, and yeah, nice to have a good break, but nice to be back as well.
Yes, I'd like to say congratulations on your new addition to your family, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Sleepless nights, mate?
Yeah, not any sleep. But that's okay, we don't mind that.
No, indeed.
Well, first chance of the match goes to Luke Zanges, and it's a really good one. This is a really nice chance to get your cue on going. A lot of talk about the table over the course of the weekend, and no doubt about that. And the players were talking amongst themselves, and obviously just out there chatting to Ryan, he certainly found it different, not what he was expecting. You know, he called it tricky for himself. He was saying, I think he hadn't prepared for it in terms of hadn't practiced with it. So I think he found it very foreign out there, and I think we will see that division. Some players that have had some table time, and some that haven't.
Yeah, well, while you were interviewing Ryan, poor Amy had the demoted interview with me on the sideline. And I said to Amy, I said, how do you find it? She says, weird. It's weird. She goes, I like it, but it's weird. I'm sure I really like it once I play on it a bit more. But to be fair to Amy, she's just come back from the US, so playing pool over there and playing over here is a completely different ball game altogether, so she's going to find it weird. But I thought she covered it pretty well, to be fair.
Yeah, got off to a good start, just couldn't then build on it, unfortunately for Amy. But you know, she's playing in the Pro Series and the Women's Pro Series. No doubt that, you know, her focus will always be the Women's Pro Series, but great to see her battling away and sort of pushing herself and learn a lot against some of these players. And she's had some great moments over the course of her year on the Pro Series itself.
Does Luke try and bang this in and get the cue ball up a bit, or does he just drop it in and play the cup? Yeah, sensible option.
Yeah, take what you've been given. 8 ball for reverse clearance and the opening frame then.
Yeah, strong start from Luke Zanges. And he goes the black. He trudges back to his chair.
All you want in the opening frame, isn't it? A really nice chance, especially when it's your opponent's break. When they break and give you an opportunity, and you put together a really smooth reverse clearance, and he'll be sat there now while the balls are racked thinking, right, let's get a ball off my own and really steal a march on this match, get 2-0 up, and you know, it's a race to 7, a long way to go, but you know, make the quicker start.
And the talent that the man possesses in his potting, you know, I'm expecting to see some great things from Chris and also Tom Cousins.
Yeah.
And that's purely because he's not a fan of playing balls down rails. And, and again, I want to see how Top Cat gets on with a bit of this.
Well, we're not seeing Tom's first match. Tom's Tom's not been put onto the feature table, so we will. Well, if he gets through, we may see his next match. Who knows? We're wait and find out. But he has to win first.
Well, if he doesn't get through, we know the answer to the question.
Yeah, we do know the answer to the question.
And Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all from the last 96, the prelim games. Essentially we have a round of 96 because there are 96 professionals, or there or thereabouts. There's actually not quite that many, but we always have the prelim round, and then we get to the last 64, which is where all the top seeded players come in, of which Tom is the absolute number one. He's actually waiting for we don't know who he's going to play yet. Part of the reason he's not onto the TV table, he's playing the winner of, my eyesight's not very good, he's playing the winner of Mark Fleming and Peter Mullaney, the big dog, and they are 4-4 right now, playing in the 96.
There's been nothing to choose all the way through that match. I think it went 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's just gone in sequence.
But we will see Chris Melling. Chris Melling is playing against the world champion of 2 years ago, Clayton Castaldi.
6 o'clock tonight, I believe.
Yeah, really looking forward to that one. There or thereabouts as well. I should point out 6 o'clock on the schedule, but that's approximate time, just in case we run ahead of schedule. Don't want you to miss it. Don't want you to miss it.
I don't want to miss that one.
Shall we pencil you in on commentary for that one, Tony?
Why not?
Yeah,
Why not? Yeah, I'll put my hand in the air.
Oh, has he come far enough? This is tricky if he hasn't.
I think can he just hit the thin edge of that plant if he hits the top red?
Yeah, that's tough when you have to play it as a plant, though, isn't it?
I don't think he's got any other shot, Simon.
Yeah. All of a sudden, if he goes one turn further, it's really simple. We clip the one nearest the pocket in, come back out, and all routine. If he has to play it as a plant, it's not just making it. Where's the red going as well?
Well, you'd think he's going to be playing it very softly, so it shouldn't go too far straight. He's not got it. Yeah. Nowhere near. Well, once again, Luke Sanchez comes back to the table thinking he was going to lose that frame.
I'm intrigued to see how he's going to approach this. Those reds don't look like they're makeable as a plant in any way, but you've got to be careful. I don't see him going for the finish, so it's a case of how does he work this dominant position into a chance to win the frame.
Well, I'm even struggling to find. I think I'll be looking to go game because I don't think I can find. I don't think I can find a safety.
I think I'd play safe. I think I'd try and play safe on the one nearest the left-hand cushion and get the cue ball up somewhere near the top corner. Somewhere near where he's got it now. Actually, not how I would have thought to get there. But as long as he hasn't left the gap along the top, then he's got to come off bottom cushion. The reason I was saying doing it off the other ball though, is if he did. Oh, he's left the gap here, so changes everything.
Well, now we know it does go.
Yeah, now it does go. But the reason I was thinking before, that if he plays it off the one on the... He doesn't cover the yellow nearest the reds to top left, and if Phil has to come bottom cushion and go into the reds, every chance he leaves that ball on, and then the clearance is available. I mean, he's missed that trick now.
I think there's any way you can try and play the loss of turn here. Can he get it through that little gap? The yellow. What do you think if you could force this plant and get the yellow to go in behind it, if it sort of spins forward a bit, the yellow, after he contacts red and clips the second red and follows it in?
Oh, that is fabulous. What a shot, what a call.
Well, it didn't quite clip the red, but it did go in.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant shot there from Luke Sanchez.
It's going to leave him one big shot coming up now. Obviously, the yellow to top left is pretty routine. It's going to leave a really delicate one into the right centre pocket.
Absolutely. This will be a real kick in the teeth for Phil Parkin as well. Because when he developed those three reds, he didn't think he was leaving the finish.
Yeah, that was fabulous. Well worked out. And it's a good choice of shot from Luke Sanchez as well, because okay, the ball doesn't fall in, he plays it as a loss of turn, then Phil could play a loss of turn back, but there's no benefit to Phil playing the loss of turn back because he's leaving a finish. So a really well thought out shot from Luke Sanchez and a very well executed shot. Didn't try and do too much on the ball to right centre. Puts a little bit of jeopardy onto this shot. Heart of the pocket.
Was clean and great control as well from Sanchez. Perfect position. You have to say, he's just picked Phil Parkin's pocket.
Simple 8-ball then for 4-0. This is not the way I saw this match going. Not saying I didn't expect it to be 4-0, but I thought it'd be 4-0 with 4 big finishes, not mistakes on both sides of the table. And Phil Parkin has made too many. The players have been calling for this, and they've absolutely got tighter pockets. Of that, there is no doubt.
No, but it's created a different mindset as well, certainly, which is great because from our point of view, we're sat here and we're watching the drama unfold as we go through the weekend. I know there's going to be some blood, sweat, and tears out there. We're in the safety of our little perch.
Yeah, don't miss anything from in here.
I think I'm the only player that has probably missed something from in here.
Well, Phil's going to try and pot his way out of trouble, but that has not worked. A good pot, but no reward at all.
He's gone for the double. Oh, a great shot.
That really was a great shot. That's opened everything up. Red's now a very good chance to go. That's not the worst kiss either. That could have gone wrong.
But he'll be desperate to get at least one on the board. I would be. You don't want to go down to 0.
It's also never over until it's over. Phil's one of those players that plays quick enough if he could get a rhythm going. And
20 minutes nearly on the clock still. There's plenty of time if you can get a few dishes up.
Yeah.
But you are now relying on...
You need mistakes.
And dry breaks.
Yeah. He won't be thinking about winning at this point. It's exactly what you say. Oh, I thought that missed as well.
Oh, I did.
It's exactly as you say. At this point, it's more a case of just trying to get one on the board, not really thinking about turning this around. He's still going to walk back to his chair and believe the match is pretty much gone, but...
Because the yellow's dead at the bottom left-hand corner. You can see it.
Well, might try and break it out here if he can clip this in thin with side.
There's a lot of right-hand side going on this. Oh, he's been unlucky.
Potted it on the thin side as well to give him the angle. It was a better shot or a better attempt than it looked, and now he's in trouble.
Yeah, now he has to get up for that double.
Yeah, now he'd love the double. Problem with the double now is if he does clip that red, if he can get up there, then the 8-ball doesn't go down the table. I think it only goes centre pockets.
Short.
Well, the way he played that was almost as though it was no attempt to get up there. What's he got for us? I mean, he must have been trying to get up for the double, just underhit it significantly.
He's trying to look at it off 2 cushions into that centre pocket, into where the big middle bag is, but I don't think he has the angle. I think that red's in a way where it slides too far to the left. He's gone cocked out. No, he hasn't. Yeah, there wasn't really a shot. Had no shot. And this is ideal now for Luke Sanchez. Easy starter in the middle bag.
Pretty routine, really.
All his connectors at the bottom of the table as well to get on the black, so there's no way he's not going to get onto the 8-ball. Let's just take the one in the middle and the 2 at the top, and you feel the match is over. I don't mind this shot, playing this one. I wouldn't want to leave that one last anyway. It's too close to the rail. Or too close to the pocket.
I guess it's a case as long as you leave one of the 2 reds down there, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's come a bit far here though, Simon. Just have to play the cut into the top left. Still no problem for him. But just as a perfectionist, you do want to be 3 or 4 ball widths shorter. He's back into prime position now. And the match is at the mercy of Luke Sanges.
Left quite a lot of angle on this one now. Rather than just a drop in for the 8 ball, it ended up being close to it.
This is a drag, a very slight drag cue ball, so it just sort of, you play it with it looks like it's got pace on it, but it will slow down as it meets the red.
I still think there's too much angle for even that shot. Yeah, played into it because there was too much angle, and he's not on it.
Well, double into the centre it is then. This is for the match. Missed it.
He just can't get over the line. What's that now? Second or third chance to win the match?
So.
Certainly second. And that one's gone, and that's one he should have got. There's no doubt about that one.
Little safety here from Parkin, I'm sure.
We're 50 seconds away from getting to the 15 seconds a shot, but well, Luke will be kicking himself if he can't make this somewhere. And he hasn't. So Phil Parkin 2 balls to get within 3 and 10 big minutes left to play. Well, this match is turning.
Someone's going to be gutted.
Someone is going to be hurt.
I bet there's an array of missed chances that's at both sides of that one.
What a break that is from Luke. To be fair to him, he's hit the break really well throughout the match. Sometimes he's had some rewards, sometimes he hasn't. But the break has been consistently well struck and well controlled. Oh, it's still not. It's not one of those absolute certainties here. Taking on reds, does the red nearest the bottom right corner pocket, does that go without help? And then obviously how much room is there to play on the balls at the top of the table? They look really awkward from our main camera angle. I'd have hope if I was Phil Parkin right now, sat in the chair.
Yeah.
This is certainly a lot harder than the last chance that Luke Sanges missed. I think the red at the bottom of the table, you can pop from this sort of angle that he's on it now. Problem is you can't play position onto another red, so does he leave it for a last ball, play into the yellow and accept a difficult 8 ball left centre off it maybe?
Oh, he's a bit straight there.
Oh, now there's some problems. He can still get out, but he's going to have to put together 2 or 3 really good pots here to do that.
Probably run this in with a load of top and try and have the red into the other middle. It's not gone far enough. Still has a chance, but
it goes to the corner as well.
Oh, I'm not sure if it goes past that black, does it?
I think so.
It's tight.
Oh, he's looking the other way. Goes to bottom right and bottom left.
No.
Well, we will never know. We will never know. And the 15 seconds a shot, first visit at 15 seconds a shot in the match, that was for Luke Sanges, and that certainly did not help matters. And Phil Parkin is in with another opportunity to pull one back here. Looks like there will be a cannon required, but he has balls to be able to play that cannon. Although that wasn't a particularly good shot. He's a mile away from where he wants to be.
No, no, no. Oh, that could be an absolute disaster there for Phil Parkin.
I know 15 seconds a shot's tough, but that was a very poor visit to the table for Phil Parkin. That first shot was, well, he a good foot and a half away from where he wanted to be, and obviously that shot he just played there was, he's thinking in or over, gives me some control, but it was nowhere near to either.
Has he just got there? He must have done, surely. Yeah, he must be. Looking at his mannerism now, Sanji's. This is the golden opportunity of all golden opportunities to win the match.
Oh, the relief going through right now. He really will feel some relief after making mistake after mistake from 6-0 in front, but this 8-ball for it. And in it goes. Luke Sanji gets himself into the last 64. Both players will be very unhappy with the level of play. Both players will be annoyed. But Luke Sanjis can build on it. He can move forward. He goes on. He has Hit and Patel in the last 64 in a couple of hours' time. Phil Parkin is going to have to go and reassess ahead of Pro Series 8 starting in a day or two's time.
He's a very accurate potter. I think this will suit him. It's obviously the talk of the event so far. I don't want to labour it too much, but
I think it's going to be the talk. Tony and I were talking about it a lot. You know, you talked a lot with it, Tony, in the last match, but no doubt about it that the tables being tighter is certainly affecting the mindset out there. And I actually agree with you in terms of John McAllister. He's been arguably, if there wasn't a certain Tom Cousins at the top of the rankings, he's probably been Player of the Year. He's certainly in the conversation with Tom and one or two others. I think these new tighter tables will suit John. I think he's got a game that's built on cue ball control and patterns. And I think that's only going to be emphasised with the way the tables are playing.
Yeah, and we've not seen too many in the way of dry breaks so far. So one early on from Dom Cooney gives John the first opportunity, goes after yellows. All the yellows are there. Just needs to mind the work here. It's the line from the yellow on the right hand side. The red is quite close to it, so he needs to get. He's a little bit worried about the angle he's going to leave. Just needs to make sure that he can get down table after the next shot. He's got one near the middle pocket, so there shouldn't be any problems here. In fact, all the balls link up pretty well. Just finished a fraction low. The red is in the way of coming backwards, so probably looks like he thinks he can just pinch past, or maybe even screw back off the yellow. Yeah, didn't need to do very much. Again, he can just drop this in the middle. Just needs to be careful of the cannon onto the red. It's just dead weight. Push the red aside. Leaves himself on the one down the cushion. Is he on the knuckle?
Well, that'd be very unfortunate.
Body language suggesting maybe. Now looking to see whether he's got the gap to the one on the right hand side, but it doesn't really do much for him, even if he can get through to it as you get back across for that last yellow. I think he's got to play this and try and turn the ball over, but I'm not sure. I think it's buried in behind the knuckle. You can see him.
He's playing it clean.
Yeah. A little bit aside though, just to try and turn it. There we go. The tight pocket. He's not left much. Left much at all. Nowhere particularly safe for Dom either. Maybe play off this red at the bottom of the table and try and come up in behind the two reds at the top of the table, but yeah, this is already tough. Just tied one up. Or has he?
Yeah, it looks like it's okay.
John's pretty thin on this yellow as well, so even if he can see the potting angle of the one on to the right, he couldn't have held the cue ball, so he just drops it over.
Interesting decision not to pot that. I wondered if he could have just dropped that in dead weight, played the yellow that's by the red, and leave the cue ball underneath that red and pump that yellow over the pocket. Then all of a sudden Dom's in a world of trouble, because he's got to get out of. He's got to either move the ball he's next to or get out of, hit another one and not leave the yellow that's over the pocket. I'm not sure if that was an option for him, but may have been.
Nice pot. Real tester. Early doors. It's the first one that Dom's had in the match in open play. And he comes through that challenge. So lots of turn shot coming up.
Beautiful shot. Plays a combination. I think you're right, though. I think he wanted it to be a loss of turn.
Yeah,
That he still retains complete control of his frame, though.
he's going to be snooping at the top of the table. He wants to force John into moving that yellow, just to open the pocket for the red. And you feel that, yeah, I mean, John to get out of the snooker, he's going to do the hard work for Dom. Dom in control of this frame now.
Good snooker as well. Hit this one off a couple of cushions, but not guaranteed. Dom actually wants him to hit it.
Ball in hand. Time running.
It's actually not the worst leaf for John. For everything that could have happened there for him, obviously there's very much that could end up in his favour. He's at least making it slightly tricky here for Dom. But no.
Not too much pressure here, though. I mean, I think I'd be leaving this at a bit of a wider angle, to be honest, to get the cue ball up the table for one of the balls at the top of the table, and just to make sure that John doesn't have that yellow if he does miss. Oh.
Yeah, I thought he had for a minute. I thought he just slightly overcut it, but in it falls.
Yeah, as I say, I think I'd have left a wider angle and just sent the cue ball up towards the bulk area, just so you've got that element of safety. But
Take pressure off yourself.
yeah, Dom backing himself to pot it.
Well, played his first couple of shots quite positively, and then cues across that one. Slightly surprising from Dom. Frame there to be won. And, well, he's still a massive favourite to win it, but he's given John McAllister a swinging chance here.
Getting a ball up into the bulk area, trying to get it in the mix, just to cause Dom some kind of problem.
Is that the percentage play, or is it? I mean,
so.
Position he's in there. You've got a long shot at a double, maybe. Make something happen. And if you go tactical there, surely you're going to end up losing most of the time. I suppose he can say, well, he was trying to put pressure onto Dom, and that's happened, but the yellow's gone into an awkward position, so he still doesn't have any reward for that.
Just going to sit the cue ball on top of the yellow, I think. No, he's trying a treble. Trying to make something happen. Yellow is in slightly better position now, which does put a bit more pressure on Dom in his clearance. Dom's missed a couple of balls already.
I think because he's missed a couple of balls, he might not take this on the way. I mean, the easiest way to take this on is to drop this yellow, red in right centre. But if he takes this and misses, he's leaving the yellow on this time. And he's still backing himself to do it. Played it with a little bit more pace. Plays it well. And that's good. Nice angle just to come back up the table for the one on the break line. What a fascinating first frame we're seeing here, Nick. Well, we've talked about the tables a bunch, but the fact of the matter is we're 2 matches and a frame in here, and we have seen more misses than we're used to seeing.
Wow. Whatever that was,
It's dead.
no
It's done.
longer exists. Put a dent in the table. finish it eventually. I mean, simple enough clearance, but he had to clear the fog of the previous missed pots and does it well.
Yeah, 1-0, Tom Cooney. Very scratchy frame. Used up about a fifth of the match clock, that opening frame.
4-1. It's going to be a big lead. Finds a ball. Finds a couple. 2 reds in. Not the worst. Not the best either. It's one of those. 1 ball, 1 red tied up. But there is a red near. He may be able to use to try and develop.
Hard to get a good angle on that ball, though. I think that 2 reds at the bottom are awkward.
If he can get to the potting angle of the one just above the yellow, which I assume he's going straight for now, yeah, that would definitely make yellow's the favourite.
Yeah, he's got the perfect ball to play the breakout on the yellow that's nearest the bottom right-hand corner. He's got a couple of options, but the one at the top was the one that he had to get on first, and he's done that.
He needs to do it now.
If he plays it now, bottom left, and goes into them, he needs to get a good cannon. Not guaranteed to be on a ball after this shot.
This is where we've seen John McAllister struggle a couple of times now when he's had to break a ball out, just finding the right line. So, can Dom Cooney find it? Just a little bit awkward queuing because the red, the top of the table is just slightly in the way. He can queue between. Great shot. Judge well.
Yeah, could have come out a touch kinder for him, but he wanted to make sure he got that sort of glancing cannon rather than full ball, because if he got the full ball he'd be on nothing. He does have pots on now, but they're all awkward for a variety of reasons. One bottom right positionally, slightly tricky.
I think this one pays the dividends though. If he gets this right and gets on the next ball, then everything's should be fairly plain sailing. Oh, that's come too far. Blimey.
I think he was playing to come too far, the way he's hit that.
Yeah, maybe.
He's on the one to bottom left. Certainly hit it a lot further than I thought he would.
Me too.
I thought he'd play for the yellow into the centre. The problem with playing for the yellow into the centre was that it was going to give him a bad angle unless he had plumb or nothing, basically. Oh dear.
Dom.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Touch and ball.
Unforced error.
Yeah, hard work was done, really. I know he didn't want to just drop that in because he's leaving a bad angle on the yellow top right, but tried to force it.
He's got a bad angle now.
And that's very true. Yeah, no, it doesn't get any worse.
It's one of those shots you just need to take your medicine. I mean, it's easy to say after the event, but dear me, Dom.
It's a key moment in the match as well. We've ticked into the final, well, we will do in a minute, final 20 minutes. We're half an hour into this match. If he could have got himself 4-1 in front, it's a big margin at this point. 3-2, it's absolutely nothing. 3-2 and John's break as well.
I think he's just tried to do too much there. Just tried to get too cute on that last yellow. Take your medicine, back yourself, and make a couple of awkward pots. Just give yourself a chance. 3-ball plan. He got up then just to have a look at it because he was just thinking about how the second red would react and was naturally going across towards the red on the right hand side, so he just played the right pace to make sure he got it. Oh dear. Wow.
Bit casual, that one from John.
I think he felt it was a gimme. It was going to drop, and it would have done on a different table. These corner pockets are unforgiving, and Dom Cooney is exactly the same at Dempsey Cube. I mean, that's an absolute gift. Wow. Wow.
I think what's happening out there, it's so much more mental than it is. I mean, the pockets are tighter. Yes, they are, of course, but I mean, that's almost, you can't believe that miss from the one from John. Okay, it was a little bit casual, but the miss from Dom there, you just can't believe that.
Crazy.
I mean, and to lose the cue ball, he must have just been. Players are a little bit more stressed on these corner pockets, and it's really showing. Is it a case of beware what you wish for? So many players calling for, wanting this, and well,
yeah.
Are they enjoying it? 3-2 anyway. That's a swing frame if ever we saw one. Both players should have won it multiple times.
His cue action, the way he pots balls down rails, I think, really do think that this could be a good change for Shane. And what a split. Finds a ball and he's away. He's going to use every second, I think. I mean, he's going to fancy himself to get this clearance, but even if he doesn't, he can eat a couple of minutes off the clock. Should be able to seal the deal here. I mean, I know we're a race to 7, but you feel, 3 ahead is all the work's done. With what's going to be about 3 minutes left on the clock, it would take a miracle with no golden 8 ball in play.
Yeah, every second that ticks down hurts John McAllister here. Would love to have got rid of the one on the break line before being in the position he's in now, because it's perfect ... for the final 3, but he might have to just go up for the one at the top and come back down. He's got the wide window for it, so it shouldn't be a problem for him. I'm actually surprised he tried to get up to the straight. I actually thought he'd just roll that in and leave the natural two cushion angle to, as you said earlier on, to track in line.
Yeah.
The reason he was grimacing is he now has too much angle on this one. The reds are actually in play here.
Yeah, I think it should be okay. I think it just comes, cannons the top one of the 3, full ball cannon, and can't fail to be on the 8. He could pinch past. So reactive, these cloths.
3 in front at the right time here for Dom Cooney. He's 1 away from victory, but he's 2 minutes 29 seconds away from victory. In all likelihood, it's job done here. 3 frames in that time span without the golden break is going to be too much here for John McAllister.
Extension, please.
Really tough section of the draw for both these players. They will have a keen eye on that Tom Cousins match, no doubt about it. The number 1 players in your quarter, you know about it. The winner of this match plays the winner of David Hogan and Christophe Lambert, which is currently 5-1 to Christophe Lambert, and then the winner of that one goes into the section of Tom Cousins, which at the moment is 4-1. Mark Fleming also has Josh Duaz and David McNamara in it. So it'll be looks likely right now, last 32 matchup, Dom Cooney and Christophe Lambert. I have to say, Nick, 3 matches in now, and the players have got what they asked for. They have got a tighter table, and it's certainly playing with players' mentalities out there.
I can't wait until we see some kind of drama, like a semi-final deciding frame, when people are starting to twitch and the tight pockets really do come into it. I think that's really going to create some insane drama.
John's not going to give up here, but essentially it's not going to happen. He knows he's just having a bit of a free swing at it here. Worth pointing out, we just had a result John Chipperfield is now 7-5 in front of Connor Tracy, and John has finally had enough. He knew when he was at the table he couldn't turn it around, so a very much a grind out there through the middle part of the match, but it is the cowboy Dom Cooney that gets over the line, and he moves on to the last 32.
A real battle this is going to be. Young pretender versus, I don't want to say the old world champion, but the battle-hardened man that is
Yeah.
Ronan McCarthy.
That's a polite way of putting it.
I always like to be polite when it comes to Ronan.
Some would say old fart, but
No,
we,
you can't
we wouldn't say that.
Never. And here he is at the table.
I can say that because I'm older than him. So
Are you?
I am, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I know I don't.
I didn't know
look
there's
it.
anybody older than Ronan.
I know I don't look it, but the babe.
Yep. Yeah, won the world title this year, beating Carl Sutton in the final. Incredible comeback and dead and buried it. The interval came back and played just out of this world. But anyway, this is another day. Here he is at the Ultimate Pool Pro Series, Event 7. Lovely shot there as he kicked that red off the rail. This match calls first to 7 and a 50-minute match clock. Well, you're on the old Dom Cooney, John McAllister match then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good game. I was up in my room. I was just,
Yeah.
I saw the scores as they flashed over.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a classic. They both took a while to get going, but yeah, Dom was pretty good value, I guess, for the win. I mean, he had a bit of a slice of fortune in a key frame, but you know, John had his opportunity to win the frame earlier on and didn't take it. So I think Dom deserved the win there. It wasn't, as I say, it wasn't classic John McAllister.
Well, as I walked back into the arena prior to coming in here with you, sir, I did just see Kyle Cope knock out Luke Gilbert, which I thought, I just watched him clear up the last frame, which is a big win for Kyle Cope.
Yeah, young guns.
Kong. Well, as we talk about that, Ronan McCarthy making very short work of these reds. And this black into the left-hand centre. And he'll be the world champion drawing first blood here in this all-island affair.
I mean, he's less than half of Ronan's age in pool terms. That's a very young man. He's got a lot of years ahead of him. You don't really see. I mean, you see pool players win in their matches, but you don't really see pool players properly mature until, you know, maybe late 20s and into their 30s. That's, you know, like someone like, you know, Tom Cousins, who's probably at the peak of his game now, is early 30s.
Extension.
A few exceptions to that.
Nice plant there from Cormac Kerr.
I mean, you're still going at 68, Tony. I mean,
Really going, am I? I'm not 68, Nick, either.
hey?
Where am I going? I'll play on the seniors tour.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the over 50s, and I'm just over 50 by 6 years. 68. Really? We're sinking that low now, are we, Nick? No one else to pick on, have you? Well, he's got a lot to do here as Cormac Kerr, because he's going to have to get back up for that yellow. And just where he's landed now,
He's going to have to.
he must be able. Surely he can get past. Can he get past the black under the yellow over the corner? I'd rather go that way and then off the yellow to the right of the black to try and get into this top area by the bolt line.
Yeah, I think he's looking now. Must be.
He's going to try and get on it now and leave the wall over the bow till last. Well, no, he's not.
Wow.
I never liked. I mean, he's been. I think he's been a bit fortunate there.
He's going to have to pull out a shot here, though. going to have to pull one out here. Needs to get this cue ball moving. Well,
he's been flirting with danger all the way through this, but he's in position.
That's not bad at all. Just drop this in dead weight. Trace the right hand side, and can't fail to be on the 8.
Well, there's black for 3-2.
Navigated that clearance really well in the end.
Oh, no, he's gone around the houses a bit.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, his potting's been sublime. And then goes the black. Cormac Kerr now leads 3 frames to 2. Oh, what a break. He'd have just loved that extra yellow not to be behind the red there. He'd have had a right tap-in finish, but got loads into that, McCarthy.
Reds aren't a disaster, though, are they? I mean,
It's the black, though. It's the black.
It's the 8, yeah. Yeah.
I think he's got to go reds, to be fair. I mean, this is an option where if you can get an angle on this red that's going to be below the cue ball, if you can get anything on that and kick that black out.
I think he's tried
And he's
there,
got the two reds near the middle bag as well. They need sorting out a little bit, so you don't want to leave them sort of stuck together too late in the finish.
The top one, actually, you can get the potting angle of it. You can drop it in. It will go off the far knuckle. In fact, he's on it now. Found the gap. So,
Well, you want rid of this, and it's near the yellow now.
Yeah.
Just while you're on it.
leave an angle on either the one to middle or the one to bottom left to come across, and then you've got the choice. Oh, he's come down to try and do it now. He was.
I'll tell you what. Does it go off the yellow in the middle?
It was either or there. Either pot the yellow or take the 8 ball, move the 8 ball. It's just nudged it up, and
I think that goes off the yellow in the middle.
maybe yellow's quite high, but
Either way, it's easier than what it was,
Yeah.
because you can play the double even. I'll tell you what, he's going to have to now chop this into the middle. He didn't want to be there. He wanted to go further up and play that red that was on the top rail.
I mean, it's just past the centre line of the middle. So I mean,
I think he might
may
put
have
us
to
in the
take it
corner.
long.
Yeah, he's going to play it in the corner. It's suicide to play it in the centre. Perfect. Now, depending what angle he leaves himself here on this last red, will determine what he does. Does he play to get on the double with the black into the other middle, or does he get behind it?
I think he's got a double it. I think he has to.
I think with that angle, yes. I mean, you could smash this in and come off 3 rails and get behind it, but that's, it's easy to get on the double. It's exactly what he's done. I'll tell you what, it'd be doubling in the corner rather than the middle now, and that wasn't his preferred option. Great shot from McCarthy. Great double. Clean as a whistle. Great match. Mouth-watering. Tie. But this has got plenty of pull in it and drama. McCarthy, one away. Great break from the Northern Irishman. This table's been breaking well, isn't it? We've seen lots of balls off breaks.
You can understand. I mean, my natural instinct was to look at reds and think I quite like them, but you can understand why he's gone yellows. He had the red to middle, but he couldn't get on anything else.
No.
So he was forced into taking yellows. He's tried to get on the one on the left-hand side. May have to leave that until last now.
Definitely leaving it till last because he's coming upstairs.
Yeah.
Long yellow.
He's tried to get over there, but just got a little glance on the way over, which took the pace off the ball.
Goes in the middle now, and then if he drops into that gap with the 2 yellows, he'll pick those both off. And like you just said, Nick, the yellow down the left-hand side, that's going to be his last ball.
15-second shot clock in
No,
play.
he's fine.
It's okay. Yeah.
He's fine. The only concern is the cue ball. I think it's going to be going slightly away actually now. If you look at the, I do have an overhead view of this as well, so he's got a slight unwanted angle.
Yeah, so for that reason he was eyeing up
There
the
you
one.
see.
Yeah, he's eyeing up the one to top right.
That was a brilliant shot.
Lovely cat.
Brilliant shot from McCarthy there. I thought that looked trickier to me.
He's going to have to come off the bottom cushion
He
either
is.
side though.
Yeah.
So
Loads
still
of right hand
needs to-
side. And that's it. Top and left. So top and right even.
Still needs to judge it.
That's perfect.
Oh,
Absolutely perfect.
The old master putting on a performance when it's needed.
Yeah. It's like he's come round the last bend in the 1500 metres and he's just kicked past his opponent and he.
I thought he was fist bumping there, but
Yeah.
it was another fly.
Yeah. Anyway, this for the match from McCarthy.
I think Cormac looks back at this at that opportunity to go 5-2, doesn't he, Tony?
Yeah. And down it goes. Ronan McCarthy beats Cormac 7 frames to 5 in a thrilling match, I have to say.
Chris actually had one of the earlier looks at the table. He was out in China, probably 6 months ago now, maybe 4 months ago. I don't know the exact date. When the table was when it was first designed and first kind of worked on, and he's actually been out there, tested it, and played on it, and gave it his seal of approval. Since then, obviously, he's gone into full-scale production, and here we are now with every table in the venue, 40-odd tables, whatever we've got here, all as Rassons, and they're being sold around the country, around the world. Morocco in particular are taking an awful lot. And number in this country, all available from Home Leisure Direct for those that are asking. Get on their website and you can get yourself one ordered up. But Chris Melling's got us underway. Race to 750 minutes, and he starts us off with a dry break. Doesn't hit it particularly well.
No, the middle of the cluster of 4 balls there in the middle of the pack didn't come out at all, hardly. So that got the Chris Melling frown as his opponent from Malta comes to the table. 2023 World Champion Clayton Castaldi.
How do we assess Clayton's first year as an ultimate pool professional? Obviously, got the invite after winning the world title. Obviously, a very, very big player in Malta, but wasn't really playing on the Challenger Series. But obviously, got the invite up to the pro ranks. I mean, it's very tough in the pool world. It's difficult to sort of put into context. It sounds strange, but it's a lot harder to win Pro Series titles than it is to win world titles. He's gone on and won a world title, brilliant achievement, absolutely will be the pinnacle for career, but it's tough, and he hasn't yet had a breakthrough on the Ultimate Pool Pro scene.
No, I think you're going to find it tough, let's just say that, but in fits and starts, I've commentated on a lot of his games last season, and quite a few this season as well, and he is no doubt a tremendous talented player. But when you're mixing it week in, week out with all these boys, it's finding a level of consistency to consistently deliver at this level. And I think that's the difference. Because probably, in Malta, he can turn up and he can have a few bad events over there, but he'll still get through them because he is the best player out there, or one of the top 3.
There's a handful, but he's right
Ryan
up there.
Pisani, another great player, and obviously Dehan as well,
Yeah.
great player. But here, there's no hiding place.
Yeah, and strangely, the best form we've seen from him since winning the world title was it actually in defence of his world title in the World Championships. We saw him put together some good performances. He didn't have a deep run, but we saw some good performances.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best way to view Clayton at the moment. We've seen performances from him, but we've yet to see any runs. He's had nothing to really shout about on the Pro Series. It's been tough pickings, really. He's right down the rankings. Been a tough season for sure.
Yeah. Well, my point in case, this is the last 64. He's got Chris Mellin still in front of him. If he was to win this match, let's say, I don't know who the winner plays, but you could get Declan Brennan. It doesn't go away. It's always a top player waiting around the corner, and to win tournaments, I mean, it then puts into perspective just what Tom Cousins has been doing to keep beating these players and keep delivering
going from round one.
Ugh.
Absolutely. And he didn't. And people will say, "Well, he's the number 1 seed. He's getting slightly better." Well, he wasn't when he started doing the run.
He wasn't.
He had. You have to earn the right to be the number 1 player.
Yeah, you don't get just slotted straight in there.
Exactly. The winner of this match, just out of interest, emphasise your point. The winner of this match has Scott Gillespie, already Barker. Now, all things being equal, current form, that's Scott Gillespie's favourite to win that match. If Scott Gillespie comes through, he's just won the last tournament. He's a two-time, he's a world champion, a 2-time two-time winner
European
on the
Open?
Ultimate European Open recently. So, obviously Eddie Barker, fantastic player as well, and he could easily win that match. But the point you're trying to make is if Clayton wins this one, he's just beaten the number 2 seed, and he could have the most informed player on the tour. Yeah. So it just highlights the point of how tough it is to go out and play.
I mean, on that European Open, I was lucky enough to be commentating on it with Stephen Jameson in that final, and several matches before, en route. Yes, it was group stages to start with, and then it goes into a knockout stage. But his form is phenomenal. It's the best I've seen Scott play for years.
Yeah, great.
And he's a great player.
Yeah. The thing that amazes me, I feel, we talk a lot about players, as we see quite a cagey opening frame here. We talk a lot about players, they're in form, out of form, missing balls, and the cue ball's a little bit loose. I think with Scott, his patterns get a little bit loose when he gets out of form, and when he gets in form, he gets in stroke, his patterns improve, and we don't talk about that as much.
Yeah, his game was phenomenal. The other week, it's just everything he did, he just did it right, and he wasn't missing pots. I mean, last year I commentated on here at the Pro Series, and he looked like a lost boy out there. He's just like scratching it. How am I missing this ball? How am I not on that ball? Looking into space, and it was a totally different guy.
Yeah. Well, he'll be getting underway against Eddie Barker at 6 o'clock. That's on the outside table. It's about 17 minutes for those. We've still got matches going in the second section, the second quarter, if you like, of the Pro Series. But third section will all be getting underway, of which this is the first match of that third quarter. At 6 o'clock. This match was due at 6, but we're a little bit ahead of schedule here on the TV table, as we often are.
Well, you never thought you'd see it, but Chris Melling, he's just playing a lot of safety shots, trying to carve himself out an opening on these yellows, and you think sooner or later he's going to get one. Now, can Clayton play a long plant into the top right-hand corner?
With a red that's tied up elsewhere as well, this is not very inviting, is it?
No. But he's running out of options.
Just the safety. We see Chris so often just go gung ho, all guns blazing. He'll tell you how easy the game can be to him. He sees it easy, but I think he's taken note of the fact that the reports early on. He asked you what the table's been playing like. Are that it's a little bit tighter, and he's going out there showing the table some respect more than he's showing Clayton some respect. I mean, I know the balls determine what you're going to do, but he's certainly being patient in this opening frame, which is not, we don't see this as much from Chris.
Yeah. Well, no, like you said before, Chris has been the main campaigner, let's say, or one of them, to get this table and this style of table, because he believes he's the most accurate potter there is in the game. That's his belief, and who's to say he's not, because he's a phenomenal talent, and he just thinks, sometimes the balls are going in when they've missed him, and he would have potted it cleanly in, and that's the whole thing. And I mean, I have to say, from my early things, the table's fantastic.
That's another one missed. There's no safety there. He's playing aggressive on that one, and he's got it wrong. The strange thing about that is that we've talked a lot about the tables playing tight, that the corners are playing tight, that it's the centre pockets aren't playing tight. They're playing a little bit more on the generous side, but it's the centre pocket that catches them out there. That was just a little bit of a wide from the 2 times world champion.
Might be the adjustment of coming back from the States there a little bit on that one. Give him the benefit of doubt before I jump up. Something
he's done so well throughout his career, is chop and change games. Other players are having to figure it out right now, and he's done it for a long time. And other players refuse to do it, which I don't blame them.
Well, great opening now for the man from Malta. He's left that a little bit short. Well, he's not. When he hit that, he thought he hadn't given that enough.
It's still a touch on the short side in terms of getting good position. If he was straighter or gone and past the straight onto this red, it was as easy as you like to get on the 8 ball.
I think he can dig it enough to hold on to that yellow, just across, or even come past it a bit.
Yeah, he uses the yellow as you suggested in this 8 ball. So it is a bit of a steal, because he was second favourite for this frame for the majority of it.
And also on the Melling break, it was dry, obviously, but It's going to be Clayton to break next frame.
And it goes for the Castle. Opening frame for Clayton Castaldi. Lots of 6 o'clock matches about to get underway, and there will be a 7:15 session of which we will see Craig Winman and Vivek Mack as Clayton Castaldi gets us back underway with a big dry break.
There's an interesting tie later. Christy Caulfield and Chris Day. That's a cracking match for me.
Plenty of them, isn't there?
There is. Yeah, there's a whole host of them now. The big names, Ian Alley still to come out.
Phil Harrison, who's been going so well lately. He's got Andy Williams for company. Routine chance this for Chris Melling. Let's not give it to him before he's got it, but sort of finish you just fully expect him to make pretty easy. The one on the cushion, which, you know, with this new tighter table, we're talking about it being a bit more awkward, but it's a big pocket because of the red, so it's not really a problem ball.
Deliberately used the red there. Shorten his angle, drops in that gap. Just how quick he sees things.
Yeah. So many players are just walking around the table to make sure of that gap. Chris just gets down and just knows
down
it's
to this
there.
black. I'd have been like taking it. I'd have taken quite a while for that one. I'd have been sizing up everywhere.
Yeah, and he's slacking because that was a minute 15 for that clearance, so getting a little bit slower, but 2 frames in under 2.5 minutes. Chris Melling is stretching ahead.
Melling makes the ball. Make that 2 balls. 2 reds. Well, it's interesting layout here at this table as we watch a replay of Chris's break. The balls are going to have to be moved. Red and yellow stuck together at the top of the table to the right. He's looking at yellows. And Chris Melling takes yellows. He's going to be a little bit careful as he pots his yellow. He's going to kick into the yellow and red, but doesn't want to get the cue ball stuck behind him, and he has the eyes played that really well. Great shot there from Melling. Looked very easy, but it's the control of the cue ball to get it to come past the red. Very elegantly done by Chris Melling. And now he is in perfect position. This will be Melling's response with, I don't know what he's saying, he's had a kick as well. He's getting the cue ball cleaned. It was hard to see at first glance. He was expecting the cue ball to come back a bit further. I still don't think it's going to pose him too much problem. Oof.
Another one.
Well. I don't think Clayton Castaldi can quite believe he's back at the table in this frame.
Station code.
He's looking at the red to see if it passes that yellow at the bottom right hand corner. We just had a little look at a solemn looking Chris Melling.
Big visit to the table here. The last time that Chris missed, it was a gift for Clayton. It had nothing to do, just had to win the frame. This time he's actually going to have to earn it, but it's massive to get himself back within 1.
Well, he's not going to play that now, even if he thinks it goes. He's going to have to play the red that's next to the black. I think it'd be... if he thinks that goes past the yellow, he's leaving that till last now. So all his eggs are going to be in one basket here. This is his 7th look. I think it's a bit late now to change your mind. He decided long ago that he's attempting this shot, and he'd like to get the cue ball a little bit further down the table and been a little bit straighter on this. Well, this is tight. We know if he catches jaw just before, red will double kiss that yellow, and he could end up. This could end up being a loss of turn shot. He's played it slow. Oh, very well played.
Gave it every chance.
Yeah.
Sacrificed position onto the 8 ball just a touch, just to make sure of that one. Big 8 ball coming up here. This is no gimme. Oh no. Woof. Rejected.
Halfway up, he knew that was going to hit the jaw.
Yeah, you knew it was tight, didn't you? Because he suddenly stops and has a really close look at it. Will not suck it in. And tough one for Clayton. Chris has not played the best of positional shots again. So he's all of a sudden got a bit of work here. And he's not happy with the cue ball. Now he's going to have a bit of pressure on the referee here, time-wise. This is on Chris's time, so now we're at 10 seconds. He's going to be okay. He's going to have to load up as well.
Yeah, played very well there by Melling. And a let-off for the magician.
Could be the end here for Clayton Castaldi. Straight in, no good. When I say straight in, he gets around the houses and in, but not touched.
No. It's going to. Hang on a minute, what happened to all the other balls?
I was watching the replay, and all of a sudden there's no balls left. Well, this is going to be a bizarre match where Chris Melling's going to make 5 clearances in less than 6 minutes. But the frames in between, I say that, he's just come up a little bit short here as I was wrapping up the match.
He's trying to tease us.
Yeah, what's he got for us to sign off? Oh, makes them both. Wow, what next is going to happen in this match? Chris Melling has just gifted another present to Clayton Castaldi, who is, at this point, it feels like it's his birthday. He's got 4 frames and 3 of them have been gifts. This is another. Amazing pot. Plenty of room for the 8 ball bottom left.
Yep.
Just needs to get the cue ball back out and somewhere near right centre pocket.
Has he come far enough? Is he straight?
Oh, he's not on this direct, is he?
No, he's not.
He's having to turn it.
Oh!
He wasn't turning it, he was just trying to force an angle that wasn't there, and he snookered. This is incredible.
He's going to have to come off cushion just before the middle, lower right hand side, try and kick this black ball into the bottom left. If anybody can make this shot, Chris can.
Station 4.
We've seen him from a few snookers today not get particularly close, though. He's not really got the sort of feel for the slides through this match, so this is a tougher proposition than normal for Chris Melling. He's normally so good at these sort of shots. Well, he gets the hit this time, but nothing more. Clayton Castaldi with a chance to get back within 1.
I don't think even if he hit that right, he had the pace to get that black to the pocket with that shot.
Yeah, it might have been a foul anyway if he gets it full ball, because
Absolutely,
nothing would have reached the pocket.
This is where you want your opponent having a ball on the rail here to make it a little bit tricky, but Clayton Castaldi must be bubbling inside to be still at the table, still in the match. That'll do him. And 6-5 we're going. That's for sure now. No way Castaldi's missing this black.
Yeah, big moments in this match. Oh, for my money, at least 3 frames, possibly 4. Chris Melling has just given away.
Played the first 2 frames.
It's the perfect break. Hit that so well. Best break of the match. Deserves the best split of the match. Hasn't got it. It's not bad though. It's okay. Thought it was going to be worse. The red and yellow top right looked tricky, but reds are a good option here.
Didn't want that nudge. He's okay, but he'd have liked better position than that.
Does it stop that red going past the yellow to the top left as well, just making the pattern a little bit trickier?
Yeah, quite rightly using his extension there. Needs to work this out. So important now at 6-5 down. There is the opportunity here to take this match right to the wire. And he's missed it.
That is a wide.
As he struck it, he put his arm in the air. He knew.
Yeah, not the best bit of cueing.
Well, what's he left Chris Melling?
From the Maltese champ. Nearly made it off the yellow actually, but missed it by so far. But the yellows are horrible here. 2 really bad yellows on the table. Chris Melling was very much up for the fight in terms of the tactical exchanges in the early part of this match. Doesn't feel like he's quite there, although he's had...
Has he just left the cut? He's just clattered into this ball down the bottom. Has he just left the cut into this bottom right hand corner with an angle to go straight up to the yellow and red into that top right hand corner? We didn't attempt it.
So
I thought he could have dug down and played that.
Yeah, maybe he must have felt he couldn't get there. He just pots it clean. So he still has a major problem to deal with.
The magician needs to pull a rabbit out of his hat. Now he's going up there.
He does have enough angle. I actually thought he was going to play the cannon on the one top left and get to the cue ball to the left hand side, but if he's got the angle to go now...
He likes to keep us guessing, Simon.
Yeah. It means he'll have one over the pocket when he plays it, which is the benefit. Oh,
Didn't get there, cue ball. Oof. Wow. Ball in hand, and immediately Clayton is going to be potting a red and removing that yellow out of the way of the other one. But then, oh no, he's going to play the loss of turn. Better shot. Loss of turn played.
Oh my God. That, we've seen some flukes today, but that is, well, that is as dirty and as nasty as it gets.
I don't believe
we will have another look at that in a second. 8 ball goes in. Chris Melling wins the match. It's an unbelievable match, just full of drama, full of story. But I mean, Tony, that is the, I mean, that's right up. That may be the disgusting, the worst fluke I've seen with Ultimate Pool.
I can't remember one being that bad ever in my life as a pool player.
Yes, Roberts, always a solid pro. We've seen a bit less of him out here maybe than Stevie Dempsey, but never an easy draw. I don't know how you feel about how the table's been breaking, Nick, but I guess one thing with the pockets being a bit tighter maybe makes it a bit harder to make a ball. We saw a couple there rattle.
We didn't actually see too many dry breaks today. There's been quite a few balls potted off the break. Probably, I haven't watched every match, but the ones I have commentated on, you could probably count on one hand how many dry breaks there have been. Yeah, it seems to be playing pretty well in terms of break. And, that was a nice, I mean, the brand new cloth, which is always going to make it slightly easier to rack and get all the balls touching, which always helps. Stevie Dempsey is away in the first frame. Yeah, Lewis always seems to be, whenever I just look at the bookmaker, he always seems to have Lewis priced as second favourite no matter who he plays. But I don't think anyone would relish playing Lewis. He really is a very, very solid player. Stevie would go into this as favourite, and indeed he did. I think Lewis was quite a substantial underdog. It's 3-1 or something, but belies his game.
Yeah, former snooker pro, phenomenal cueist, great single ball potter, and always a very consistent player. He's a level-headed guy off the table. He's not someone that's ever going to just throw a match away. You know, if you're going to beat him, you're going to have to turn up and do the job properly. And Stevie's got off to a pretty adventurous start here. He's pulled out 2 good shots already.
Yeah, he was looking for an angle here to get across into that ball on the right-hand side. He's finished too low. So that ball on the right, guided by those yellows, is becoming a real problem now. It doesn't double, certainly not to middle. I think the yellows are in the way of that.
Yeah, you can see as he hit that last shot, he was worried he'd left the ball short, that he was going for the pot, but he was trying to cue more further up the table, as you say. Great bit of cueing that to make it to the corner, but attempted to make an angle that wasn't quite there and still couldn't quite get the cannon.
I say it doesn't double, that's what he's left. Maybe he thinks he can just beat those 2 yellows. I thought they were in the way, but they aren't. Has he found the gap? I think he has. It's a very nice shot. You could see him eyeing that gap before he played it. I think it's perfect here.
Well, this is going to be some clearance. If he comes out from the position he started this clearance with, no wonder he's strong favourites for most of the matches he enters if he can get off to a start like this. Certainly when Lewis went away from the table, he'd have been that unhappy with that break. One of those breaks, if you're going to come up dry, that's a kind of slightly congested layout, you'd be happy to leave. But Stevie's just unpicked this with absolute surgical precision. He's had to play some shots here, and he's had to play some very precise position as well. Several times he's had to play for a gap that's not much more than a ball or 2 wide. What a clearance that was from Stevie Dempsey. One straight out the top drawer to open this match up.
Yeah, a bit more into that one. Cue ball just stays out, runs into the red. It was tracking towards that middle pocket. You see here, gets kicked into the pocket or towards the pocket. That was going in. The red comes to save him, and now it's Lewis's chance with. It's decent. I wouldn't say it's incredible, but it's decent. Just needs to think about the one red that's a problem on the left, tied up with the yellow. There's enough balls around it to be able to release. I think he's going to look to play it after this shot. Just finished slightly low. It's finished straight. Needed an angle there. I think he's just got a fraction of the angle that he may just be able to stun across. Yeah, just a little angle there, you see. It's okay. Bottom red of the 2 will go to middle. Still work to do though to get back in A1. Middle pockets play fairly generously, so take this red with pace. Just come off the bottom cushion and back out. Quarters extension. Just thinking about his next positional shot. I'm not sure that Lewis has played on these tables yet, so he may not realise that you can really fire them into these middles. Not like that. Going to find the middle of the pocket. Just a small trace of fortune, just nudging the yellow safe. Gives Stevie something to think about. And suddenly it's a bit of a messy table for both players.
Not the start to the match that Lewis wanted. I guess if you're not going to get the clearance, it definitely is a second prize to get things a bit messy.
Yeah, he's left the red long, but doesn't really offer Lewis much. I think he'll just try and promote it at the cushion. There's no point in trying to pot it. He hasn't got a sight of any other balls, so
It's a ball he's happy enough to promote, but it's not very easy to leave a good white in playing this shot.
no. I mean, almost guaranteed to leave something on, but just with the knowledge that he's still got those two yellows tied up on the left-hand side. And hoping that Stevie doesn't get out of this visit.
I mean, ordinarily, well, he's not going to go for it anyway, but ordinarily you'd say there wasn't much risk of that. The clearance he took out in the first frame, I don't think anything's really safe.
One yellow out.
Again, kind of hard to play a very telling safety shot because he's only got access to half of this red ball.
Yeah, flick off and try and leave it on the top cushion. He's left the yellow, but again, I'm not sure Stevie's going to be in any rush to take on this clearance. He's still got the yellow tied up on the left side. But he wants to find a way to try and manoeuvre that out before. He's in control of this frame now. I'd much rather the yellows here. Left an angle on the ball to bottom right to come and keep that bad yellow out. So all about the shot. Guaranteed to be on a ball. Well, you're guaranteed to be on a ball if you play it that well. Very nicely controlled shot.
Got a magic touch so far today. Every cannon has been perfect, every positional shot has been perfect. Lewis Roberts sitting in his chair is wondering what he's going to have to do to get into this match. And the answer, as it usually is against top players, is to finish at the first visit and just keep them away from the table. Good angle here, drop the ball to the left centre, cue ball naturally drifting up the table. The only ball that's any work to be done with is the 8 ball, so it's just a question of how he thinks about getting onto that.
I think it goes to left middle. I think it goes between the reds.
This has been incredibly high quality of play. The first 2 clearances were top draw first visit stuff. This one has been a bit more played, but still the same result.
Get the cue ball back to where it was, and there you go. As simple 8 ball as you can ask for. The players who have already been on this table, I think it was the obvious choice, and that should be a great game. See the young Carl Cope, who's already had his solid win today against Sean Chipperfield.
Meanwhile, back on this table, that's exactly what Lewis Roberts was looking for. He needed to get something going in this match, and that's the kind of break that should surely help him towards that. It's a pretty clear challenge facing him. Every time Stevie comes to the table, he either seems to clear up or get control. What Lewis needs to start doing is taking out first visit clearances. First glance, you felt like that was a good break, although you see the balls have come to rest. I think he's ruining the fact that he hasn't got a slightly easier starting position. There's obviously a couple of shots he can go after, but not absolutely guaranteed. He's not had much luck into the middle pocket so far, but judge that one better.
What's he on here? I think he may just be on this one to the top right. It's very tight. If he's not, then he's struggling. I think he can just get through to it. See, it's tight. He's down for another look, but yeah, he can get through. Oh, that's no good though. Just didn't get through the cue ball. Needed to stun that below the bulk line for the other red in bulk. He's got a red long, but he needs to use this red to develop the one that's sandwiched between the two yellows. Suddenly very awkward clearance. And he was also rushed. He's taking another close look at this one. Maybe it goes. I didn't think when the other ball was there it went, but actually looking at it now, it probably does. I thought it was jammed against the yellow, but you can get past it. Oh, you can see it's tight. That's where you see him play it towards the right hand side of the pocket.
Still doesn't feel entirely comfortable, does it? He's played some good shots in this clearance, but you can almost sense the nervousness on his part that he just wants to get this first frame on the board.
The problem is, Mark, I don't think the 8-ball goes anywhere on the left side of the table. It doesn't go top left, it doesn't go left centre, and it doesn't go bottom left corner, so he needs to needed to leave a big angle on this, which he's done. It's actually a very good shot because he can just play across the face of the 8-ball now. A lot of players have had trouble today. I think there's some midges. Dancing around the light.
Yeah, we saw it in the last interview.
That's no good. That's no good.
Yeah, he's going to be disappointed with that because the previous shot was really good to get position and he's got pretty much the ideal angle. Yeah. You see, I mean, he's not one to ever do anything unsporting or show much annoyance at the table, but that's about as much as you'll ever see. He looks pretty disappointed with himself. I mean, just look at this position. We've seen Stevie clear up from several much harder places than this, and now suddenly he's just gifted this frame. What Stevie's done so well so far this match is he just hasn't let his concentration lapse. The fact that he's seen his opponent struggle a bit and he's clearly playing well, occasionally that can lead to complacency and you can throw a loose one in. Stevie's got a real sort of steely determination about him. A lot of fun off the table, but when you watch how intense he is when he's around the table, it always looks like he's 100% focused on the game. There wasn't a lot to that shot, but just making absolutely sure that he had the right angle to go around the back of that red. Gave kind of natural position. Used to be a ball like that you'd think was close to unmissable, but you just saw a nervous moment there. You just wondered if he had pushed it too far onto the jaw. Problem in the end though. Right now this is all one-way traffic going towards the man sitting on the right of the arena. Best of 13 match. Stevie Dempsey already has 5 of the 7 frames he needs.
Another lovely connection, but just no friends.
He's always a player that optimises for control on the break rather than raw power, but hit that well enough that he could certainly have potted. Lewis right now is definitely in that territory where you're just thinking, just want to get a frame. I mean, not that he's going to care if he loses 7-0, it's ultimately the same, but you just sort of feel like you're just chasing that first frame. Obviously the opportunities are much diminished now.
Stevie's dangled the carrot. Nice an angle here to come across into the yellows and break out everything. How's your luck? No good, sir. No good. I mean, how is it possible to land on nothing? You think if you cannon the red, you have to be on something. You cannot fail to be on something. Somehow, he's found one of the only areas on the table he can put a ball. Oh, that's clever.
No surprise to see him going attack. He was going to play a safety shot 6-0 down, but had to manufacture one there.
Pushed the yellow onto the right side cushion, which isn't going to help, but yeah, just have to throw caution to the wind here.
It's a knockout tournament, so the scoreline isn't important. It's not like we're playing a group stage or anything, but still, no player likes to lose to 0. Just looking to get past that red and force the cue ball round, but he's got a cannon he didn't want. Again, if you can see a pot, he'll probably go for it.
Yeah, pot and cannon here. It's landed okay. I think he's. Or has it? Is he on the one that he's closest to? No, he's not. Probably chasing now, but why would you not?
The other thing, of course, is there's 2 Pro Series events this weekend, so you want to try and take something out of the first one just to give you a bit of confidence going into round 2.
Tried to play it off the red and just push those 3 reds into a just on top of each other.
Stevie's played so well in this match, and anything less than 7-0 will almost be a disappointment for him.
Yeah. I said it earlier, it really is the best ball I've seen so far today. He looks in complete command out there. Hasn't looked like missing a ball. The cue ball's been on a string. And we need to ask him in his interview whether he's actually had a chance to play on these tables before, because he has just stepped straight in from ball 1 and been pinpoint.
Yeah, it wasn't the best prep, even though he was expecting to play a match. He effectively got called down a few minutes early for this one, and he was very gracious in doing that. He did rush down as soon as we asked him to.
I think that would have suited him as well. I think he thrives in this environment. Well, we've just seen it. The first misstep, if you can call it such. The first time he's fallen out of position.
It's obviously close because the referee came to look, but it's not a touching ball. I think he's probably too close to play it to the corner.
Yeah, cushion first. Just seeing if he can get to the cushion. Still gets it.
This has been ridiculous stuff from Stevie, hasn't it?
Sublime. Absolutely sublime. Stunning Stevie Dempsey. That is fabulous from him. Absolutely fabulous.
And you know, with the odd miss here and there, I think it brings its own distinct drama. But this promises to be an absolute cracker.
Yeah,
Short chip as well. The pace he plays out is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he's always a sort of fan favourite, isn't he? Just because he plays the game the right way, or at least the way people want to see it played. Always looks dangerous and seems to be hanging around the business end. Can't cope, though. It's not just that he's a promising young player, but it's just the way he goes about things. Sometimes you get young players come through, they look a bit rushed, and they throw sort of good performance and then bad performance. But right from the start, he's just looked rock solid as a match player.
Well, I've been on my break this afternoon. I walked back into the arena on the side tables, and I just happened to stop. And he was playing Luke Gilbert earlier today, and it was his final finish. He cleared up to beat Luke Gilbert, and he took out a fine finish there. And I thought, well, that looks like a man in form as well. And obviously ousting Luke Gilbert, who's also won an event this season. Well, that's no mean feat, but he's a very talented player, Carl Cope.
Yeah, and surrounds himself with other good players with Dave Gilbert, obviously an excellent snooker player, and we've also seen him play a bit on Ultimate Pool. And lots of other good pool players coming from that part of the country as well. It helps to have that kind of top-end competition.
Yeah. Also makes that. I mean, for me, Chippy, it's just how he queues up. It's like it's sort of one sort of aim, sort of swipe, if you like, you practice and shot, and then bang hit.
Well, he's the quickest, isn't he, at that? I mean, occasionally he will throw in one, and that's a ball that would have dropped, I think, in the previous table. Although I don't think he quite got the position right. Maybe that's actually a better outcome than if the ball does go in. But yeah, he's the quickest when he's actually down for a shot. A lot of the other players who play quickly, it's that they race around the table. But with Chippy, it's just no time is spent lining up, which is so useful because when you get down to the 15-second shot clock, even if he's on 2 or 3 seconds, he can just get down and play a shot, and he doesn't feel like he's rushing. Whereas other people look like they're under all sorts of pressure. So first look at Kyle Cope, having bigged him up. Not a bad position this, although he's got to mind his work. The 2 balls to the left-hand side of the table do both pot to the left middle. The top one would be a fairly easy pot to the left middle. The other one may play to the same pocket or may try and drop in behind it.
Very good pot there from Kyle Cope.
Yeah, and days gone by with some of those balls down the rail, you'd say you didn't have to hit perfectly, but on this table you really do, and he found the absolute centre of the pocket there. He's not going to be able to get too close to the ball at the bottom of the table if he wanted to play that next, but still got a decent angle to the ball to the left centre. That's the most difficult ball on the table, so either way he's happy to have it out the way. May have to go up the table next.
Has he gone far enough? I think he has just to screw straight back.
Well, the only thing about that shot, because you had to have exactly the right angle. He had, as you said, just maybe a roll short of where he wanted to be, which meant he couldn't get perfect position. I think he thought he could probably borrow a bit more of the pocket than he has.
I'm not sure he can get past the black for the length of the table double into the top corner either. He might have to play this very slowly into the centre. We should go for the cut. I mean, wow. We'll take the paint off this one.
Didn't get close in the end.
Bridge too far there for Kyle Cope, and now for Sean Chipperfield, a second bite at the cherry.
Yeah, a bit of a let-off. When he left the table, he was probably thinking it wasn't a horrible leave, but then once Kyle had gone about that finish, it looked like he was going to get it.
Flirting with danger. Not flirting with danger, gone straight in it. Wow.
That's amazing. I mean, it looked like it was a loose shot that was going towards the pocket, but it's just carried on running. Just talking to Lewis Roberts as he came off the table after his last match, and he was saying how fast the table was. Not a great surprise, obviously. The table's brand new and the cloth's brand new, so you'd expect the playing conditions to be pretty lively. Real let-off though for Kyle Cope, having missed the ball along the bottom cushion.
Some fantastic quick potting, but then there are some bizarre moments before him as well, which makes him he's very entertaining to watch, and you don't quite know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very rare you see someone that doesn't enjoy watching him play. It's just a really entertaining style.
Yeah.
And I think when you play this quickly, when you do miss a ball, it's always going to look careless. It may be that a slow player would have missed the same ball in the same way, but it's just because it all happens so fast.
It's the good old, the grand old perception of somebody that's playing fast around the table. Well, they can't be trying, they can't be concentrating if you're playing that quick. Well, Chris Melling will see finishes very, very quickly and rapidly, and he'll run through them. It's not that he's not concentrating; he just sees them very quickly. Where some other players need to process a little bit longer, and it's just down to the individual player. People go through rituals in their heads and all sorts, how they put their hand on the table. all of it, and some of it takes time.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were commentating a bit on Christophe Lambert at the last tournament and watching how meticulous he was with the break shot. Exactly that, thinking about hand placement.
Yannick Beaufils was very similar. When he played on the pro circuit, he had to have the dot facing up directly straight to the ceiling on the cue ball. Had to be in the exact same spot every time. And you can actually see him looking to think, I'm a millimetre too far to the left here. I need to move it a bit more. And
meanwhile, exactly what we talk about has kind of befallen Sean here. Just slipped. Oh, surely not. What a shot that is.
Well, that's some shot. He's managed to cut that in and do a figure eight with the cue ball. Let's have another look at this. Here's one for the highlight reel. As it swerved out the way of the red. Quite easily could have blocked the path and worked as a central defender and stopped the ball, but it's gone, and as he wipes his chalk mark away from where he just played that last shot. He's having a cue ball cleaned once again. Well, this is going to be a party trick to get on this last red. Has to go through the gap, and a friendly bump, but he's having a look. Can he play the red off the yellow into the centre? Can he hit it thick enough where it passes the second yellow above it? Because if it cannons into the second yellow, or can he screw it straight in? Oh, he can. That's a great shot. Well, he's got a tremendous finish in there from Sean Chipperfield. A few bumps and kicks along the way.
Whereas sometimes if you do see people sat in their chair shaking their head, it's gives you something to work with at least.
Lovely break that as well, by the way. Loads of power without too much, he's not seen him jump into these balls. Just the explosion of the balls have come out. I'll tell you, I think these tables have broken well today as well. We've seen very, very rare dry breaks throughout the day.
Yellow versus black.
Well, the yellows are there. That is a really good shot there. Played it with loads of right hand side. Gets onto this yellow that's next to the black. Now that's wants to screw straight down on that straight line through these balls. Doesn't want to hit any of these. Straight down the table. Bound to be on one of those yellows into the middle. And there he is. There's something on that carpet over there. That's the third player that's tripped on that side of the table today. Luke Sanji's early doors. I'm trying to think who the other one was. It might have been Ronan McCarthy. I'm not sure, but it's definitely the third player.
It's been such a solid performance from Kyle Cope. He'd love to just get it rounded out here and now. It's going to be a good afternoon's work if he goes through Luke Gilbert and Sean Chipperfield.
Yeah, play the yellow that's next to the red. Just screw back a couple of inches, lever, cut into the bottom corner. Comes off the two rails now, so off that side rail into the other rail over there. Lands in a gap of all those reds, and you'll be able to see the black.
A fine performance from Kyle Cope. Does what he needs to against Sean Chipperfield. This could have been a very difficult last 32 draw, but
to refind its form, but he's coming back into it.
yeah, it was never that he was a bad player. I mean, he'd finished ranked 13, 19, 19 for the first 3 years of Ultimate Pool, but as you say, he was just in such dominant form in the years before COVID that anything other than consistently winning titles was probably going to seem a disappointment for him. This man, meanwhile, never really taken a break. It's just been winning titles all the way through. 6 already for Ultimate Pool.
The ball's in play.
Got the ball just on the knuckle, and I know on a Supreme we would have wondered whether that would go in, but on this pocket it most definitely will.
I was watching some of his previous match from out in the arena, even having watched Chris Melling as much as I have. Never really ceases to amaze you by just how sort of casual he looks. He just strolls around the table knocking in long shots like they're over the pocket. Barely looks like he needs to take any time to set himself up. It's a very unique cue action. He draws the cue back a lot further than pretty much any other player. He just delivers it so smoothly. What's often hard is to deliver it whilst accelerating when you're starting from that far back, but even with gentle shots he always just seems to have the timing down to an absolute T. Played a good cannon there. Just needed to, ooh, wow.
Oh,
Done all the hard work. That was a miss you were never expecting to see.
no, did not expect to see.
I mean, I suppose when you look at it from that angle, maybe he didn't quite have the full pocket, but it's still not expecting him to miss it. Real bonus chance this for Scott Gillespie.
Yeah, I think in his mind this was already chalked off. Once Chris had developed that last red, you expect him to complete that clearance. So lots of other action ongoing at the moment. Mark Fleming 2-1 up against David McNamara. Christophe Lambert 2-1 up over Dom Cooney. Carl Morris, Callum Singleton 1 each. Shane Thompson, Ronan McCarthy 1 each. Sean Story 1-0 against Luke Sanges. Rob Warren 3-1 against Chris Hampson. Cole Bedford 2-1 against Connor Jones. We'll keep a keen eye on all of those scores. I don't think he was looking for the flip on the red. That's just made things a touch more awkward. I think he's still okay to cue the yellow long. I think he can just cue alongside the red. So yeah, he's not hampered. Should still be okay here. Great potter. I expect to see him adapt to this table really well. I think this would suit him.
Doubly important to get this clearance because it's going to make Chris Melling dwell on the mistake, whereas if he's allowed back to the table, he'll get forgotten a lot quicker. Ended up slightly between shots. We've talked a lot about the way these tables play down the cushions. May on a different table have considered playing the other ball first, but on this table you want to be pretty tight in behind the ball down the cushion.
That's not the best. Needed a bigger angle. He's just a little bit straight now. He can't get close to the 8. All he can do is kind of screw back to around about where he is now, just maybe a bit beyond. Maybe to punch it out just a little bit further, but yeah, decides to take the medicine and leave a double. Some players have instantly settled into the table and found these doubles, and other players have struggled.
Yeah, I agree. The standard of the doubling has been quite mixed, which is not surprising at all because every table does play slightly differently. You judge the new table and the new cloth. Oh, half to the pocket there for Scott Gillespie.
Yeah.
Good finish in the end. It was very much a bonus chance that he shouldn't have got, but ended up having to play a couple of shots towards the end of it. It wouldn't have been everybody's choice to play for that double. I think you've definitely seen a few players try and screw back and get some kind of shape on the ball to the corner.
Wow. that fairly echoed around the room. Scott would have loved to have made a ball there. Got a lot of power through the pack. Such an important time there for him. I mean, if he makes a ball and finishes the clearance 4-0, it's huge. But now it's an open door for Chris Melling.
Sounded like a gunshot when he hit that. I don't think he could have believed that he'd come up dry.
Absolutely huge.
It's what Chris Melling needed, though, because he didn't want to find himself 4-0 behind in a race to 7. And now he's got to dig in. He's a very good competitor. Obviously everyone knows him for the flamboyant stuff, but you don't win as much stuff as he has without knowing how to knuckle down when you need to in a match. Not generally one to get involved in a particularly tactical style of play, but we've seen a lot of that. Quite a few flies flying around.
Yeah. It does happen this time of year. It just starts to cool down a little bit outside, and all the animals come inside for the warmth, and the players being plagued by it today. It's just to constantly get attracted to the light. As soon as they get in the player's eye line, it can be quite off-putting.
Yeah, and once it happens once or twice, you start feeling them when they're not there, and it starts distracting you. Beautiful sunny evening here in Blackpool. Got dark now, but before the match it was a beautiful sunny evening. Sunset over the sea outside.
Yeah, it was a stunning day. I was sat in my room about 7:30 this morning on the laptop, and got a view straight down the promenade, and beautiful. I mean, if you can say that about Blackpool. Wow. I mean, he's still got it, the top corner, but that could have gone wrong.
Just making it a bit more difficult than it needed to, but gets the job done. This is the last 32 stage of the tournament. We'll be wrapping up after this one and coming back with the last 16 action tomorrow morning. We'll also be starting the second tournament of the weekend later on tomorrow.
He is absolutely rifling that cluster. I think they felt the tremors all the way down Blackpool Promenade. You can hear it. It's about the noisiest break I've heard. Reds are pretty good. Just about the order he takes them at the top of the table. I mean, some players would have decided to take the one to right centre. The reason he hasn't taken it is because it links really nicely with the ball to top right. If he took that ball to centre now, it's a clever little shot as well, because he's just given that red a nudge. It opens the middle pocket. It means he can drop this one into top right, and he's got that ball to link back out. Really cleverly planned.
It was, because those two balls at the top of the table, even though they both had a clear pocket, weren't very easy to link together. He was always going to have to play a cannon on the yellow, so he left himself a positional shot where you could play that cannon and still be in position. What you really wouldn't have wanted to have to do is play that and then play further down the table for another ball. It meant they didn't have to move the cue ball too far. Same equation here, he can't avoid the cannon, so he's going to have to kind of embrace it. I think ideally you don't want to catch the yellow too thick, but how thin can he catch it?
Yeah, I think you top this, don't you, with the left hand side and just try and glance off the yellow, get the cue ball away. Oh, that's so well judged.
Yeah, both of the last two cannons you could be fooled into thinking they were almost natural shots, but you could really have got stuck to either of them. And the fact that he's landed not far off straight and the ball to the middle means he's got good control. He can pick his angle for the ball at the top of the table. Well, you've got to add Scott Gillespie to the list of potential winners. Stevie Dempsey was brilliant earlier on. Scott Gillespie hasn't been a whole lot further behind here. This has been a high-class standard of play.
He is cueing the ball so well.
Just never looks like missing right now.
Play.
More of the same. Another rocket. Oh dear. And I say oh dear for Chris Melling because that could be curtains. Because these reds look very nice. Just about the 8 ball. But everything has a pocket.
Station 4.
Yeah, couldn't avoid the cannon. Just needed it to come out. I mean, both of those balls went, but couldn't avoid it. They were better than they are now. It's a bit fiddly now. Wow. The first missed ball from Scott. Took 7 frames for him to miss one. And there we see another ball. Just kept out of the pocket. Just caught that cushion on the way through, and they will not drop.
Not what Scott wanted, because even though he's a long way ahead, he knows full well that Chris Melling can just dash off a few frames in a row. Even if he does go on to win it, he could get himself involved in a tighter match, whereas he had a good chance to run out 7-1 and go and get his dinner in peace. Not completely done yet though. Chris has still got to get on the ball, bottom end of the table.
Ronan McCarthy's enjoying life. He's 4-1 up against Shane Thompson at the moment. Rob Warren 6-4 on the hill against Chris Hampson. Don Cooney 5-3 over Christophe Lambert. Mark Fleming 5-2 over David McNamara. Cole Bedford has beaten Connor Jones 7-2. Holy moly. What about that for a positional shot?
That's absurd.
That was fabulous.
Wow, what a finish that was. It was one he needed, because his opponent's on the hill and had the first chance there to close out the match. The magician does find the magic when he needs it most. Love obviously to get it done at the first time of asking. He's been breaking pretty well so far in this match.
Just look for a split second like it might be dry, and then a little game of ping pong at the top of the table pushes the ball into the pocket. You can see there was nothing heading towards the pocket here, and then just a little kiss on the cue ball pushes that one in. No. How are we looking?
Station 4.
Reds look really good.
Yeah, this is going to be a defining moment of this match one way or another. It's a great chance to win the match. If he somehow fails to, it has the potential to be a big momentum swing.
Just caught that far knuckle. Heart was in his mouth for a second. You could see with that pause as he waited to see if it would drop. He's not on the ball. Oh, he's getting down on it. I didn't think he was on the ball to top right. He was. Easily. And suddenly it turns into quite a simple clearance. He's a player that can definitely handle the pressure.
Particularly given the season he's had, I think that's one of the things you deal with better, these kind of pressure situations closing out a match. That can be one of the things that can go missing a bit when you're not winning as often. The win line comes in sight and you're almost trying to force yourself over it rather than just going at the same steady pace you've taken the rest of the game at.
Yeah, bottom left, and then bottom right to leave the gap to the red to middle. And the 8 ball waits. Sounds simple, should be simple. Needs to execute it though.
Just one positional shot to play. And the match is at his mercy. Looks like he's weathered that mini comeback from Chris Melling. 2 balls away now from the victory.
Once upon a time you'd have looked at this shot and thought this has got a chance of a bounce out because of the way he's got to play it. We haven't seen anything even look remotely like popping out of the middle pocket so far today. Let's hope it stays that way. Great performance.
Great performance indeed from Scott Gillespie. Should have won 7-1, ultimately won 7-3, but the main takeaway of that match is just how well he played from start to finish. Rock solid pool. Chris Melling played barely more than a cameo role there.